in some way, that we bring jazz music back, and the people who live here, who are educated and would like to see the place progress, that they would appreciate, and we don't have to live alone and die without the tourists. I think the time where local market, local population, and everything local can keep on going, I think this is the time to prove it. As far as the present situation is concerned, everybody is scared as hell of this virus, coronavirus. But actually, this whole thing is a bit like SARS. SARS was a hoax. It was like a influenza. Every year we have an influenza epidemic. And to just summarize what the virus infection of upper respiratory, and it goes down to the lower respiratory tract. If you take 100 people who are exposed, about 70 out of 100 are asymptomatic. They get the virus, they don't get the symptoms. Another 20% may be mild symptoms. So you're left with a 10%. 5%, they have it quite clear, and the other 5% left are the ones that get it fairly severely. Those that die, like in SARS, are the elderly, the ones that are compromised hosts. They have some other diseases. So this makes it even worse. Therefore, the chance of them dying, being severely ill, is a lot higher. And that basically is the picture for this present virus. But you have to understand also that there's a lot of gold lining, silver lining, whatever, for countries. I think the US would like to hammer China, so would Europe, so would England. Therefore, the WHO is a very handy instrument. When you look at the board members, the big shots in WHO, mainly US, European, English. So China has, or Asia in general, representation. And at the same time, I think the fact that, like Russia, there's no voice from Russia about this virus. So we're now in a political game. Another point is that CNN, CNBC, BBC, you name it, Al Jazeera, they all make money from this. News every 5 minutes. The latest give you the scare, everybody's petrified. Airports are empty, nobody's going anywhere. So, the news media, they have a lot to gain from this. And then of course you've got the scientists who work in dark rooms. Nobody knows zilch about them. They get to be on the news almost daily. So they become known, and then they can ask for grants. So it's self-promoting. The longer they keep it going, the more money they make, the more name, the more influence. Therefore, it's a big game. Right now is probably a good time to travel because the airports are empty, the planes are empty, everything's empty. So I think don't get fooled by all this. I really feel that we're being had again. And of course this mass hysteria will continue until people get wiser, and then it will die down. Or, of course, the drug companies would like to have this going on because they can then sell their vaccines. But then again, you realize that if you have vaccines of the flu, by the time this vaccine arrives, the flu is already mutated to another form. So you're getting it for nothing, more or less, as far as the good it does you. And some American scientists say that if you have vaccines, then in the vaccine you have aluminium, which causes a bigger and a better response to the vaccine by the body. But at the same time, they say it ends up in your brain and may be related to dementia, Alzheimer, and whatever else. So, you know, it's a big game. And the pharmaceutical companies are really quite a group of demons. At the hospital, we have a machine which is called the biolaser, which is a low wattage laser light that you introduce into the vein, and it gives energy to the cells in the body, and it helps a lot of diseases. It started in Russia and now it's used extensively in Taiwan, and it helps to relieve chronic pain, improves blood flow, good for strokes and migraines, any chronic pain. And people say, oh, how come it's not in the textbook? Well, my answer is that you should ask the pharmaceutical companies. These people aren't stupid. They know about this. But if you start having biolaser, which we have at the hospital, I brought it in from Taiwan, then they wouldn't be taking their medicines. The migraine medicine would be out the window. And of course, the pharmaceutical companies would lose. So they just put it in a drawer and lock it up. And basically that's what's happened with many things that they could have done better, but it's not something which you would expect them to kiss off, because it's billions of dollars of profit. So I think the American doctors that are against the pharmaceutical companies have concluded that they make medicine in order to improve your condition, whatever it may be, but not to cure it, because to cure it would be self-defeating. The profits would drop. So that's the part there. The biolaser that we have, which is something which I think is terrific, because we've had people with strokes. The stroke can be a hemorrhage or thrombosis. What biolaser does is that it reduces viscosity of the blood. What it does, when you look at the blood under the microscope, there is called clumping, where the red cells and the white cells stick together in clumps. That's normal. But when you have the biolaser, it energizes the cells so that they stay apart. When they stay apart, that means that the viscosity of the blood is then reduced. The smallest vessel is the capillary. The red cell passes through the capillaries one at a time. But before they pass through, they have to be free. So if they're clumping, they're sticking together, and it takes a while for each one to get unstuck and go through. So by having the biolaser, the blood flow is improved. It's like you're going along Sukhumvit Road and you get stuck because of some reason. It's like having a thrombosis. So instead of going through the thrombosis, which you can't, you go around with the smaller vessels, and that's where the viscosity reduction helps the blood flow. And we've had people who've come in and weakness, half the body, cannot speak, twisted face, and within 36 hours, 48 hours. Each time we give the biolaser is for 60 minutes each day to 90 minutes. And when the blood flow improves, total recovery, which is amazing. But it's not really pushed, except in Taiwan is the treatment of choice. In China, they use a lot of it, in Japan, and also Korea. So more this part of the world, which is more akin to the biolaser. But that's just the part that I'm glad that we have, and we keep on using it. Besides chronic pain, the cases of migraine, where the patient is running into the wall, no medication will take care of the migraine, then this biolaser is magical. And we've seen it in many cases that have attended. But then again, you come around to the medicos who will recommend it. In Thailand, because all the texts are in English, right? I don't know who started this, but there's one textbook of medicine which is used by practically all medical students. It's called Harrison's Textbook of Medicine. I don't know whether the first guy that could read English came up with it. But nobody reads anything else. When I came back from Melbourne, I said, well, look, there's Cecil Loeb, there's Davidson, many others, and some of them you read and you seem to flow along with the way the text is made up, that you enjoy it more and you learn faster. So, oh, no, Harrison is the book. So, if it's not in Harrison's, it's no good. And because the teaching of the medicine in Thailand is, in a way, very dependent on the teacher. And I found from 2 years at Ramatibadi that the teachers aren't that smart in Thailand. If you stick around long enough, you'll be a professor because of the longevity. And that happens in many things in Thailand. I worked with the guys that graduated from Rama and came down to work for me, to work with me. And I said to them, what you see contradicts what you read. Which do you believe? And they said, they believe what they read. And I said, that means you're not a scientist. A lot of the medical stuff are discovered through accidents, through observations. But that is another problem. So, I'm running into making a lot of enemies as well, because they're not very happy when you tell them they're not very smart. And they're not too smart either, because if you don't believe what you see and believe in what you read, then of course you believe in the ghost stories, right? Because there's a lot written about ghosts. I haven't seen one yet, but that's part of the problem of introducing new things into the Thai medical circle. I went along to Ramatibadi, met with the head of the neuro medicine, the neurologist, head of department. I said, hey, look, this machine, this biolaser, it's $50,000 a machine. It's really great. You have a lot of patients with migraine and chronic pain. This will help. I'll donate 2 machines along with everything else, and you can do more research on it. He refused. So we'll leave to the Americans and the Europeans to go ahead with it, and we'll follow. I said, this, doing this type of thing. But then I offered it to Chulalongkorn. They turned me down too. Because the idea was that, what would they get out of it if they took the machine to do research and have patients use it and so on? More important, what was I going to get out of it? So the concern wasn't for knowledge. It was just that I may have gotten something out of it. That's a little, from what I know. I'm not selling it to you, so I'm not making money there. And the fiber optic that is used to deliver the light, I'm donating that to you. So if you can cure a lot of people of migraine, then that would be wonderful. Then again, of course, they'd have to consider the pharmaceutical companies that visit them every month to promote some drug. So they said, look, I'm not using your migraine tablets anymore. They may not get all the gifts that they were given. So all this is all stuff which you don't believe. I was quite stunned, so in the end I just quit. I said, forget it, it's a waste of time. But that's part of the problem of the educational system in Thailand. And that has to change. Otherwise, all the, let's say, aliens, they say in the newspapers, aliens. These are not aliens, the ones that come over to, you're not aliens, you are future Thais. Because you're going to be changing a lot of this stuff. You stay here long enough, you apply for citizenship, you will be Thais. It doesn't stipulate that it has to have a certain appearance. I'm half Thai, and I feel fully Thai because I'm committed. But at the same time, unless the real Thais wake up, they're going to be overrun by, right now, everybody's coming to Thailand. Filipinos, Cambodians, Lao, Vietnamese, Burmese. They are not aliens. These are future Thais. And they're going to be taking the jobs of the Thais, present Thais. I told them that. Because we're hiring a lot of Filipinos, and we're hiring a lot of other nationalities. And they're not going home. They don't want to go home. It's very comfortable here. You guys know this. So this is what's going to happen. And it's happening right now. So with this new train of thought, hopefully it will stir the ties to the real ties. My mother, who Scottish, used to be very sarcastic and say, Thai Tata. Tata means the truly Thais. They're the ones that just came down from the coconut tree. So that's the way it seemed. So that's another factor. And another interesting point, which you may read in the newspaper, that we're coming next to last in the standard of education. When I first came back from Melbourne, worked in Ramatipudi